it! Do it! Come on! Kill me, I'm here! Come on! Do it now! Nope! Me! Nigga!
Hey gamers, welcome back to the channel. And today guys, we have a special video on Hawkeye. And we will see how he does before his buff goes live. That is, Hawkeye's pre-buff gameplay. We all know that Hawkeye is getting a buff in December month. If you haven't seen the video, I will provide a link in the description. Click that link and watch the video because it will help you and keep you updated about the buffs coming in December. And what do we have in this video? In this video, I will try to show you my favorite things about Hawkeye. Things like how I like to use him and the power of that power drain mechanic in his SP1. So we're gonna be having a lot of fun in this video. So don't skip any part of it and watch the video till the end. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon so that you never miss my videos. And without any more trash talk, let's get started. So first, let's start with the simple fights. These fights have a little bit of regen and these are very helpful to show you the aggressive gameplay that I love to use when I use Hawkeye. When I use Hawkeye, I try to keep opponents in the corner and I keep on spamming those SP1s, keep on power draining them and just play aggressively. But here, as you can see, I'm running suicides. Suicides are always in my setup. So I just don't want to change my setup for this video, so I just left them like that. But still, as you can see, we are just smashing this Angela and she went down so fast because of that aggressive gameplay that I love to do with Hawkeye. And next up we have another bigger fight featuring Dr. Voodoo. And the goal in this fight is also the same, keeping them in the corner, spamming those SP1s and playing as aggressive as possible. And that is what everybody loves about Hawkeye. He was the power drain king in the past and he is still a decent power drain champion. And he is getting a buff and everybody is so excited. As we keep on talking, let's say goodbye to this Voodoo. And now let's get into some real action and let me show you the real value of that most useful ability of this champion, the power drain. And I will try to show you with 3 different champions, 3 different fights and 3 different node combinations. We're gonna start with a couple of variant fights. First one with Strike Back node, and this Namor is powered by Strike Back node. If you don't know what Strike Back node is, if you use any kind of special attack, opponent will get a bar of power. So this is another node that shows the power of that power drain in Hawkeye's special one. As you know, Namor gets that 30 outrage, he goes straight up to final special, so we have to manage that timing and we have to use a special one at that point. This Namor has 11,000 attacks, so even one single slip up will be a death. As you can see, even the block damage is high on this Namor, and we are taking damage from recoil and Suicide Mastery, and I would never recommend you use Hawkeye with Suicide unless until you use Nick Fury's synergy to cover that up. But again, Hawkeye is not made for suicides because you keep on spamming those SP1s. So I would not recommend you use Hawkeye with suicides. It's better to use Hawkeye without suicides. Only then you will find the essence of Hawkeye. The power of that SP1 is huge when you compare the damage bonus that you can get from suicides, because you will die eventually when you spam those SP1s. So it's better to use Hawkeye without suicides. And remember guys, this is a variant fight and Hawkeye is only equal to a rank 4 5-star, and still he's getting the job done. And say goodbye to the Namor and let's move on to the next matchup. And moving on to the next matchup, we have Iron Patriot. We all know he's not that hard to fight, but in this node, he becomes a little bit of pain. Because this is all or nothing node. If you don't know what all or nothing node is, the AI won't use his SP1 or SP2. It will save the power and uses the SP3, and you can't stop it. When they use SP3, you can't block, you can't do anything. You should take that special into the face. What we can do is we drain the power and never let them to use that SP3. We're just gonna do that because Hawkeye is the power drain king. And opponents will never get to their SP3 as long as you use Hawkeye. And we are trying to reach almost 2 bars, but not exactly 2 bars. Because when you reach almost 2 bars, it will help us to keep up the chain. And we are just draining that power and we are not letting that Iron Patriot to get to his SP3. But we have to keep this in mind that Iron Patriot has an ability where if he gets below 15% of his max health, he will gain power like insane. And as you can see, he is below 15% and he activates that power gain, and we just shut it down with our SP1 and now he should die. Speaking of power, how can you forget about Hyperion when the entire discussion is about power control? You guessed it right, the next fight is with Hyperion, powered by this buff Power Snack. And we all know Hyperion is already a power gaining machine. On top of that, he has this buff which will give him even more power, which is Power Snack. Whenever we use Dexterity Mastery to get this precision buff on us, he immediately nullifies that buff and get some power for himself. And here he is awakened, so he has the extended duration for his all the buffs. That means including power gain buffs. That means he will have a ton of power to throw on us. But don't worry, we are using Hawkeye, so we have no worries because we have the beacon of opportunity to take the power out, control the fight, and take him down so easily. As you can see, the fight is on control. We are controlling the power. We may take hit once, but we are not gonna lose this fight. Throughout the fight, we drained this Hyperion's power several times and we are controlling the fight. And that SP1 is just taking all the power from that Hyperion, and he is not even doing anything. He's just spamming those specials because he don't know what to do. We will take all the power because he knows that I will never get to a special 3. because in front of me there is a Hawkeye, so he will never let me do that. And this is not a regular Hyperion, he's a staggered and beefy Hyperion. Almost 200,000 health. So Hawkeye takes out that Hyperion with no problem, proving once again that he is the power drain king.